There are a lot of different paint pens out there. Sometimes rolling or spraying just isn't what you need, and you don't want to use a paintbrush. We're going to look at some of the options available. Acrylic, enamel, oil, all decent paint pens. So how do you choose which one's best for you? I decided to choose light blue just because it's not black. Wanted to throw in some color. Most of these pens come in varying sizes. I decided to go with something a little smaller. That way we can test it on paper to show what it's like to do classic art with a paint pen when maybe you wouldn't have traditionally thought of using a paint pen. There's a really great artist who shows that you can absolutely make beautiful art with paint pens. I'll have his link in the description below. We're gonna go ahead and start with Posca, just because it's pretty well known. It's not an overly large marker, and it is acrylic based. The barrel, which is where the paint is held, is made of plastic. The cap is pretty nice, and it fits snugly. I have used this marker. I actually use these pretty often, so the nib is already saturated in paint, but it is similar to a lot of the other nibs, which we'll compare. And if you shake it, there is a roller ball inside to get the paint all nice and mixed up. Then there's Liquitex. A lot of people don't know that these guys actually make paint markers. They're kind of known for their tubes of paint and paint medium. What's nice about the Liquitex versus the Posca is that you can see through the barrel. Now it is just your typical plastic barrel. It does have a plastic clear cap, so if you wanted to store it facing towards you, you might not be able to tell what color it is, so you can always just turn it around and face it the other way. It does have a chiseled nib. Only a few of these markers have chiseled nibs, and I don't believe they come in any other options. I could be wrong about that, but if it really bothers you that much, you can just get online and get different shaped nibs. Like most paint pens, there are roller balls on the inside to mix up your paint, and because it has a clear barrel, you can turn it around to see if your paint's properly mixed. If you see darker pigment, keep shaking it until it's all one even color. US Art Supply's paint marker. This is an acrylic-based marker, and it's pretty small in size. Plastic cap and plastic barrel. There are roller balls on the inside to mix the paint, but when you shake them around, it actually kind of feels like they get stuck. I really don't know what that's about. This marker feels incredibly light compared to the others. Part of that probably has to do with the size, some of it might have to do with the materials. And it's a very inexpensive marker, but it comes in very large packs. You can't buy them individually. It does have a bullet nib, pretty similar to a lot of the other nibs. This marker is by Pebeo, I believe that's how you say it, and this marker is a little bit different because it's oil-based. It has a metal barrel, a plastic cap, and it feels like a larger metal ball on the inside to mix up the paint. Now the cap's on there pretty good, but it does have a bullet nib, and it's similar in size to the Liquitex marker. Montana is a really common paint marker among artists. This particular marker is a little bit thicker than some of the others. It does have a plastic barrel, and you can see right through it. That not only allows you to see how much you have left, but it also allows you to see that your paint is properly mixed before you start using it. And there are roller balls on the inside to mix the paint. It does have a bullet nib, and the material seems a little softer than some of the others. Molotow, you'll see this paint marker all over the place. It states that it is proudly made in Germany, and even though the barrel is completely covered, you do have this end here, which really doesn't help you to know whether your paint is mixed or whether you have enough for your project. But they actually give you this open little space here to tell you how much paint you have left, and it's actually measured, so it's pretty nice. And it even has a very nice bullet tip. You can get these in much wider. You can actually get most of these in much wider. There is a roller ball on the inside of it, although it feels more compact, but if you turn the marker side to side, you can feel the vibration of the ball hitting the end and then the vibration of the ball hitting the top. Did you guys know that Sharpie made paint pens? Well, they do. I actually didn't know this before now, but Sharpie's a very common brand, we all know it. However, this is oil-based. This is not acrylic-based. This is a fairly thick marker, and there are only so many colors available. Although if you buy multiple packs, you can probably get enough colors to make some pretty neat art, but that doesn't mean you're gonna have the skin tones that you need. This comes with a bullet nib that has a fairly soft texture, and there are absolutely roller balls in there to mix up the paint. And it's pretty loud too. And the barrel is metal, which seems to be pretty consistent with oil-based paints. I bet you also didn't know that Elmer's, like Elmer's glue, also makes paint markers. It's fairly inexpensive, and it's really light with a plastic barrel. This is acrylic base. There's no roller ball in it. That's one of the different features of the Elmer's. It's a pretty average size, and if you remove the cap, it does have a bullet tip, which is actually kind of thick for the size of the marker. This is one you're going to see advertised a lot. Arteza. It does have a pretty large cap on it, which makes it a little difficult to store. The barrel is pretty light, made out of metal aluminum of some sort. Both ends are colored, so you can at least see what you're grabbing regardless of what direction you store the marker. This has an acrylic-based paint and a bullet nib. The bullet nib's a little rougher than the others. These are inexpensive, and they come in really big packs full of an array of colors and extra nibs that are a different shape that you can swap out if you want. Decocolor is another one you're going to see pretty often for artists. This is a very thin marker. It is oil-based and it has a metal barrel. It does have a roller ball to mix the paint and a very thin, long nib, which actually does get a little shorter once you use it. this is a unique pen, an enamel-based paint from Testors. It's got a metal barrel, it's average in size, and it does have a chisel tip to it. The nib actually comes out really easily, like I don't even really have to pull on that for it to come out. So I don't know if that'll push itself back into place when we push that in to get paint. I'm not really sure, but pretty much like any enamel paint, this does have some pretty strong fumes. So if you're gonna use it regularly, you might want to consider opening a window. Permapaint sounds like a 1950s gimmick. It's got a plastic barrel, it has a plastic cap, and it's average in length. Now, I actually haven't used this before, but it comes with the nib already saturated in paint. There's no roller ball, nothing in there mixing anything up, so that means there's something in there pushing the paint forward, kind of like a normal ink marker. And unlike the others, there's no pushing the nib down to get paint out of it. Here's a marker you may or may not be familiar with. It's at a higher price point, like the artist grade paint markers. This is Conquer. It's an acrylic-based paint with a clear plastic barrel. You can see whether your paint's completely mixed and how much you have left. There is a roller ball on the inside mixing the paint up. And when you open it up, there is a bullet nib. It's got a bit of a harder texture. If you haven't heard of Crank, it's a pretty heavy marker, and I actually really enjoy the weight of it. It's got a metal barrel all the way through and a plastic cap with a bullet nib. Crank has a lot of variations in size and different tips, but it does have a fairly limited color range. But this is a really nice, high quality marker. And again, the primary difference from the other barrels is that it is much heavier. Testing the paint flow from the marker to the nib was actually a really interesting process. The marker with the best results from this was Crank. The paint came out incredibly smooth, the push action didn't hang up on the nib wasn't too soft and didn't deform, and the paint completely covered the nib without having so much paint that it dripped all over the place. And then there was the PBO. Paint came out so fast that it actually kind of dripped from the pen. And then I tested each marker on a white and a black piece of paper. The oil paint's just basically soaked right into the black paper, as well as the enamel. So acrylic is what you want to use if you're going to use a darker piece of paper. However, out of the acrylic, only a couple of them actually held up on the black. The Conquer was okay, but the Montana was best. Paint markers are often used on different surfaces as well, so I took them outside and used them on some untreated wood. Now usually if you're gonna go outside and use paint markers, you want to use the big fat markers. That's not what we have in this case, but it gives you a pretty good idea of what the paints can do. The markers that held up the best were the Conquer, the Montana, the Molotow, Crank, and the Liquitex. The other markers pretty well just soaked right into the wood. Surprisingly, the Conquer and the Montana actually kind of outperformed Crank in this area, but the blue of the Crank is a little bit darker, so that may also be part of it. And then I took the 5 markers that performed really well in the wood and just tried them on some cardboard. The Molotow and the Montana seemed to do the best. The Crank was actually okay, but it kind of tore up the box a little bit. And then, when I was in the middle of doing more paper tests, the Montana kind of exploded in my hand. The cap connects to the unit that screws onto the barrel so tightly that if you twirl the cap, it could actually unscrew it and dump paint all over your hands. Found that one out the hard way. I'm not really sure how common that is, but it certainly happened this time around. So you need to be careful about that and don't be dumb and twirl your cap a lot like I do. I looked very carefully to see how these paint markers treated a very thick mixed media style paper. There were a couple that were very gentle with the paper, and then there were some that pretty much just shredded the paper. I found they all had a very similar bleed rate, none of which are too bad as long as you don't put on a ton of layers. It looks like the best results on paper are going to come from Sharpie, Posca, Montana, PBO, and Molotow. I would say that Conquer is also pretty solid, wouldn't be afraid to buy it. Out of all of our options, I'm gonna recommend the Arteza as the best budget-friendly paint marker. It comes with a bunch of different nibs and an array of colors. If you have a high school student who's interested or you're a broke college student, this is probably the way to go. I believe Posca is going to be your best student grade marker. There are a lot of colors, it's good on paper, and it's not super expensive. And it's a pretty reliable marker. I use it a lot, but that's as long as you're just using it on paper. The best professional grade, I'm gonna say, is the Molotow. It has extremely consistent results. There are a lot of colors. It is on the higher end of price. It's nice to be able to see how much paint you have, whether it's all mixed, and for some of these paint markers, they even have refill paint. And even though it exploded on me, if you're wanting to go outside and mark on something, this is probably what you want to do it with, the Montana. Crank wasn't too bad, but I feel like the Montana had more consistent results. It was really great on wood, it was really great on cardboard, good on paper too. And then the most surprising to me were the Conquer and the PBO. I would probably put the Conquer somewhere between the Posca and the Molotow. And then the PBO, I had actually never heard of it before, but the coverage is extremely impressive. So if you're wanting an oil-based paint marker, PBO is probably going to be your choice. The only advantage that I would say oil has over acrylic is the fact that it doesn't tear up the paper as badly. Why even buy a paint marker? Pretty simply, you get the comfort of a marker and the coverage, dependability, and layering of paint. Don't be afraid to think outside of the box what you can use paint markers for. They can create beautiful art, not just signs.